Hello friends, welcome back. Today's video is about shade garden plants. These are our guardians of our shade garden in the side yard. So let's walk around and take a look at some plants that grow well in shade, and we'll talk a little bit about them. So here's a bunch of plants that we have around our chestnut tree. This is a painted fern. Painted ferns like shade. This just gets a little bit of morning sun, but other than that it's in the shade for most of the day. The same is true for hostas. They can grow in some sun, but they can kind of like get pale or almost burnt looking if they get too much sun. These get shade pretty much all day here, just a tiny bit of morning sunshine, but they're around the base of a tree. So like around the base of a tree is a really good place to put some hostas, because you know they're going to get shaded and they'll sort of be protected there from the sun and everything. Here's our actual shade garden on the side. You can see right here it's a sunny day and there's sort of this dividing line. This is facing south, so the garage blocks the sun most of the day until the very late afternoon. This is some longwort. This likes a partial shade to shade, and there's our guardians again kind of hanging out here. Longwort's a really cool plant. It does get flowers earlier in the season, but then it also has that speckled foliage. This is some yarrow, and so that does usually flower, but it's done for the year. Same with the lilies of the valley here, that get the really, really pretty, fragrant white flowers in the springtime. This is a Heartleaf Brunera called Jack Frost. It gets these really cool leaves, but also as I kind of look closer here at the flowers, they almost look like forget-me-nots, the flowers that these plants get. I had to check and see that actually was coming from that plant. There's a frog just kind of chilling in the shade there. So shade garden plants, this is a escargot, Begonia. Really cool. Shade plants, as you can see, they tend to have really big leaves. So things with large leaves can typically handle the shade well. This is a coral bell. They collect more light with their larger leaves. I leave the tags with them just so that I don't forget what they are, because I'm not super familiar with a lot of shade plants. This is a Lenten Rose here. Really cool. It's almost done flowering. When its flowers were new, they were almost black. But look at the foliage. It almost looks like plastic or something. It almost doesn't look real. These are all perennial, by the way. Everything in this garden bed except for the escargot begonia and this one here, this peach one. Those are annuals, but they just look cool. They also like shade. This is an astilbe. They flower, most of these shade plants, this bleeding heart as well, they flower early. They flower in the spring. So you're going to get your flowers early, and then they're going to kind of just be foliage, but they're still attractive. That's a mayapple back there. It's pretty much done for the year. Also an early bloomer. But again, there's a lot you can do with a shaded area. So if you have a lot of shade in your garden or shade in your yard and you're not sure what to plant, there are a lot of things that actually need shade. I've tried to grow bleeding heart before, that big, huge bush right there, and it's just died everywhere I've planted it because it was in too much sun, Take a look at mint. Mint will grow anywhere. Sun, shade, it doesn't seem to care what used to be in this bed before the fence was there. But, certain things really do need the shade. So like that bleeding heart, this is the first time our plants ever actually looked healthy because it's finally in the shade where it belongs. So there are certain things that really do need to be out of the sun to really thrive. So thank you for watching. I hope this gives you a few ideas. A shade garden can be a fun, comfortable place. You can make it kind of a playful garden. Also kind of weed while you're filming. But also it's a nice relaxing space to sit, get out of the sun a little bit, and enjoy some somewhat unusual plants.